Hey, Raider Nation, how you guys doing? Welcome to another great episode of the Unfiltered Truth. I'm your host, Dale Jones. Dale Robinson is here with me, and he is somewhere in the darkness. I don't know where, but that's Phil Robinson for you. But
Always in the shadows.
there's a lot we're gonna get into, but real quick, since we're moving on up, God is good. I just gotta point that out. He's good all the time.
Always.
iSports Radio and the Unfiltered Truth are now sponsored. And we are sponsored by the Raider Ramble Las Vegas Raiders outlet, delivering the latest in Raider football with tons of articles daily written by staff of talented sports writers. Check out their social media on Twitter, the Raider Ramble, Instagram, and Facebook. Legacy Financial. It's been a tough year, everybody. However, staying positive, keeping your faith, and continue to work hard is the goal. If you're in financial struggle at this moment and you need some help, call 951-732-0130 or 510-928-2104 to book your appointment today. Andrew and Io are just two people on a mission to help families build a legacy. And you can find them on their social media, Twitter, Legacy Uncut, and Instagram, Sims Uncut. Excuse me, Legacy _Uncut, and at Sims _Uncut on Instagram. We're also sponsored by 26 Sports, looking for interviews with champions, contenders, prospects, and people inside of combat sports. Then look no further than 26 Sports with Michael Ruda. He also has recap shows throughout the month. Social media, you guys can find him on Twitter, Wolf2988, or go on YouTube at 26 Sports. And remember, always check out iSports Radio. Give them a follow on our Twitter page, iSports Radio, Instagram, Facebook, and our website, iSportsRadio.com. That's a big-ass sponsor right there. Damn. We're going global, ladies and gentlemen, global. And I appreciate being a part of this. And I'm going to try Phil Robinson one more time. I know a lot of people are like, damn, y'all reading a lot of sponsors right now, but hey, you got to love it. Phil, we're going to try you one more time, bro. You alive?
I'm getting bits and pieces. Let me call you back when I get to the car because this ain't working.
All right. So it looks like I'm going to run it solo for a while until things get settled. And then I also have more good news to bring to you guys for the Unfiltered Truth. So y'all stand by. I'm going to end the show with that. But as we watch another season crumble, collapse, this team has collapsed worse than Enron. This team has collapsed and promised many things to this fan base. And once again, we're on the verge of going 7-9 or being just average at 8-8. This is frustrating for this entire fan base. This has been frustrating for anybody to witness. Everybody's jumping in like, who's to blame? Who's that person? Who is it? The defense? It's the defense. Yeah, the defense. They're the blame. They're always the blame. What about the coaching staff? This coaching staff has not been the best. You keep a guy on your coaching staff for 3 years that cannot teach these men to play the correct way of football on defense. You can't teach them the correct way how to rush the quarterback. You can't teach them the correct way to cover. That's a problem. Now it comes out from former players. You're bringing somebody last minute as your D-line coach, and you finally put him as your defensive coordinator just to scramble up this what's left of your season. And I'm just going to put it like this. This man should have been the defensive coordinator. You should have got rid of your best buddy, and you should have kept, you should have kept the D-line coach that changed these young men on that line, showed them how to rush the quarterback, and they got sacks. Why did you get rid of that? You got rid of somebody that was good. But, this is what you get when you have a coach that is arrogant. This is what you get with a coach that doesn't know what the hell he's doing right now, because it seems like he's out of touch with time. He wants to try to force something that was from the past into present time. And that's not working right now. It's not. You look at this offense. This offense could be top, it's top 10, as some folks say. But when you look at the red zone, you're like, damn, that's sad and pathetic. It's a problem. These draft picks, it's so many question marks down the board. You look at it, you're like, what is the problem? I listened to Gruden today, and I'm just like, wow, he's throwing guys under the bus. He's throwing rookies under the bus. You throw your 12th overall pick under the bus. Now, ain't that some shit? And I'm going to say this right here, everybody wants to, you got your car stands, you got your Gruden stands, you got your rug stands. It's just all over the place. And when you look at it, you're just like, well, what's the problem with Ruggs? This is a rookie, you can't put the whole blame on this guy. That ain't right, But I look at Ruggs, and I can't really put the blame on him because, he's doing all these damn routes. I'm going to read these routes. For Ruggs. Pat, he on the flat, he ran about 48 routes. He was targeted 6 times, and he gets 6 receptions. You ran that route 48 times, you got 6 targets and 6 receptions. Okay, on your out route, you run 31 routes, targeted 4 times, and you got 4 catches. We go on the go route. It's 12 targets and 6 catches. So you ran that 29 times? Okay. He runs the curl. So everybody thinks he only runs go and flats. Well, we look at it. He's ran curl routes 28 times. Slants, he's ran them 22 times. 2 targets, no receptions. Crossing routes, he's ran it 20 times, 4 targets, 3 catches. Those in routes, 18 times, no targets, no catches. Let's see. I think this is the option route. 18 routes, no targets, no receptions. A post route, 16 routes, 2 targets, no catches. Wide receiver screen, 16 routes, 2 targets, 2 receptions. Corner route, 13 routes, 4 targets, 1 reception. Comeback routes, 11 routes, 0 targets, 0 receptions. Underneath screen, he's ran that 8 times. Targeted 0. Reception 0. So when you break down this route, when you break down what he's been running, he's basically running everything that everybody's talking about. Everybody's like, well, I don't see him running this. I don't see him running that. Maybe he's not a good route runner. Maybe he's not being looked at. Maybe he's not being looked at. That's what it looks like. I mean, that's what happens when you have a one-read quarterback. It's just really asinine. This shit. You bring in all these weapons for offense, and you don't utilize them to their fullest potential. I mean, yeah, you bring in Nelson Aguilar. He's having a hell of a season. But you drafted Brian Edwards, hardly being targeted. And when you have the formations to run with him, he's not even being utilized to the fullest extent. I got Phil Robinson here. Okay. Phil, you good?
Now I am, finally.
All right.
What's up, everybody?
Phil, this team is not being used to the fullest extent. Everybody talks about this team being, this is a good offense. This is a top 10 offense. You listen to shit that Gruden said today. I felt that we scored enough today. No, you did not. If you want to be a top offense, you play to win the game. As Herm Edwards says it. So you're going to run that damn score up.
Top offenses don't lose 8 games in a season. Top offenses, elite offenses don't lose 9 games in a season. Top offenses, elite offenses get to the playoffs because they are able to overcome every single defense they come up against. As you were I caught a tidbit of what you just said, but the fact that Gruden continues to lay everything on his players and how they're not doing this, that, and the other when he's not properly putting them in positions to do what they need to do. The only person who really looks like they're getting open and being put in a position to succeed is Darren Waller.
Yeah.
That's the only and the reality of that is the reason why he looks like that is because he's winning 50-50 balls against guys that don't physically match up with him.
He just throws them down like rag dolls.
And I got no problem with that. I got no issues. But at that same time, when you come out here, you use the 12th pick in the draft on a wide receiver with speed. We all thought that it was going to be different. We thought that we were going to get a deep ball throw. We thought, hell, guy will be running some screens. Might even see a slant or two. No.
Well, hold on. I just read this. I just read out the target list. He's ran all of them, but he's not being targeted enough. Or he's not even getting targeted on some of those routes.
He's not getting targeted on most of those routes. I'd almost say all, but
everything I just read, Phil, right, just a few minutes ago, that's probably about, I don't know, if he's playing nearly about what, 95% of the offense, bro, he ain't getting targeted probably about shit. It ain't enough. I'm not even going to get into numbers. It's not enough. He's not getting targeted enough. He's not being utilized enough. He's not even being looked at enough.
Nope. Not even close.
Mr. fucking one read. I don't care. I don't care if everybody wants to say, oh, well, we're going to blame it on one guy. I'm like, bro, turn your head to the left. Turn your head to the right. Who's open? That's it. But I do blame Gruden on this shit because Gruden, hey, I'm going to need you to start getting him involved more. He's getting open. That's all. If you're a head coach and you say you see, well, such and such is wide open, you tell your fucking quarterback, hey, I need you to start getting him involved in the game. It's on both of them.
It's on three of them, actually, because at some point your wide receiver needs to speak up for himself. And if he's truly getting open and he's beating his guys and the quarterback's not looking, he needs to get in his ear, he needs to get in the coach's ear, and he needs to tell both of them that you need to either go back at the tape and look for me to be open, or look at me being open, or you need to work on something. At this point, this is where I'm getting open. This is what this guy's doing. We're supposed to be communicating professionally out here. You cannot convince me that Ruggs is not getting open because I've seen it.
Hold on. You said your wide receiver should step up and say something?
Yeah.
I think it's been said before. I think someone that wears number 12 had spoke up about it. Look how that shit's going for him. Hold on, who wore number 15 couple seasons ago when they were with Jack Del Rio? Where the fuck was he at after that? You know, it's funny because it seems like when you go to the front office and say something about that, you know, you either get a limited role or, you know, you off the team.
And that's why they're losing. I could agree with you 100% and agree with what you spoke is true. But to me, if that's the reality of what happens when your wide receiver is telling the head coach and his quarterback that he's open, and you decide to minimize his role or not play him at all, you better damn sure have the record to back that up. And the Raiders do not. The Raiders have not. And the Raiders, with the rate they're going, will not.
I mean, but let's be real. You really honestly think your rookie's going to speak up against his quarterback that's supposed to be the leader of the team?
I never said speak up against him. I said let him know.
I mean, that's how it's going to be looked at, and that's how it's going to be painted as.
A closed mouth don't get fed. That boy is over there starving, shaking like a leaf in the wind. Looking like one of them kids in Africa wishing he could get a table scrap. He needs to get fed.
Man, I'm just, if you're like everybody, you saw that presser, that was a bitch slap to the face for all fans.
Basically said, fuck you to everybody is what that was. I'm Gruden. I'm safe. My way or the highway. I know football. And I got to tell you, I'm really tired of this fucking argument that we keep hearing about. Everybody knows football. Oh, you don't know football. You don't watch football. You don't watch tape. Bro, you're not winning. If you know football so well, why aren't you winning? If you know football so well, why aren't you able to overcome your deficiencies in order to find a way to win? Instead of making excuses and pointing the finger and saying this right here is why we can't get it done. I know that much about football that I can see all the stuff that's happening that's not allowing you to win football games. But if you know it so much more than I do, why aren't you doing it? Why aren't you doing something to fix it? You just rolling over and letting it happen. I think Middlecoff said it best. If you're not coaching them up, you're allowing it to happen. And all roads lead back to one person, and that's the guy calling the shots with the 10-year, $100 million contract, who's currently going in front of you, trashing everybody in the world but himself. And he did do that too once, saying when he got in there and messed around and had an honest moment and told people that he thought he had all the answers, he thought he knew what to do, and it just hasn't worked out.
It hasn't.
People have to stop lying to themselves. People have to stop accepting being lied to. That water that's falling on your head, that ain't rain, partner. That's piss. You are getting your heads pissed on. And you are just sitting back, singing in the rain with your head back and your mouth open, taking it all in. Your coach is killing you. Said the quarterback is a problem, but he's down the line. The defense has been killing you. The defense is the sole reason why you're not in the playoffs, because you decided keeping Paul Gunther for another year was a good idea. Especially in a season where coaching your players up is at a premium because you had no training camp. You had no off-season workouts, no OTAs, no mini camp, none of that shit. So what that falls on your coach to explain something through a Zoom session, and we found out from Will Compton that that's not Paul Gunther's strong suit. So what the fuck is he doing for you? Aside from going out there and losing games with the scheme that lets everybody run up and down the field up until the time that they can't go deep anymore because there's not enough field behind the defense. No turnovers, 31st in sacks. You get the run defense has been atrocious. Now we've been talking a gang of shit about the defense and all of the players. Rod Marinelli came in and in 9 days played 2 games, and I don't think in those 2 games they've cracked 150 yards on the ground in 2 games with the same guys that Paul Gunther had given up 200 yards 3 weeks in a row.
But you know, it's funny. Why is it always like the whole 100% blame the defense for all this shit? You had this same shitty ass defense, and you were 6-3.
This shitty ass defense beat.
Hold up. How the fuck can it always be blamed on defense as the main problem? And your ass went 6-3 with that shitty ass defense.
Because the offense was scoring so much. They had us covered. They were like deodorant on a stinky ass.
I just been really sitting here wondering that. The past 4 hours, I was literally wondering that. I was like, everybody's bitching and complaining about, oh, you know, this defense, we can't do this, we can't do that. We need an average defense. We gotta have this. How the fuck are you 6-3? If you're 6-3 at this time frame, talking so bad about this defense, how are you 6-3?
This terrible defense held a playoff team to 2 touchdowns, a whole gangload of field goals, kept them underneath their scoring average, held them to 26 points, which if the offense had scored their average scoring, which would be 27, you get a win. The defense came out there, got 3 and outs, did everything that you could ask for in order to get that win. And your head coach is more interested in kicking field goals when he gets into the red zone than calling a pass that might have more than one guy in the fucking end zone running a route. Literally does not give the team an opportunity to score because we're going 2 handoffs, a pass to the flats and a field goal. Because we're going to start this season with Derek Carr. We're going to finish this season with Derek Carr. I don't care if he needs to be getting the ball in a fucking wheelchair and getting wheeled back in the pocket to throw. Meanwhile, your backup quarterback, the guy that you're paying quite a bit of money to, came out and had a good showing, showed that he was capable, showed that he could still be a starter in this league, and you decide that you would rather lose with your guy than win with somebody else. And that's a whole lot of losing mentality. You're not going to score when you're at the goal line because we want to run some clock and kick a field goal. And listen, your defense, the very same defense I just gave credit to, has had a hellacious time trying to hold on to a lead inside of 2 minutes. They simply can't do it. They did it once against the Chargers. But other than that, they have not been able to do that. So why on earth would you set yourself up in a position where a field goal can beat you when you're at the fucking one? Pete Carroll lost the Super Bowl like that, doing some dumb shit at the 1 yard line.
Hey, yo, I'm going to say this shit. This is where it gets funny as hell. I don't give a rat's ass if I'm coming at him or not. But your guys' completion percentage really took a turn for the worse.
After week 10.
No, my friend. It took a turn for the worse. Damn. It really kind of took that turn for the worse. It started just trickling down to the 60s and to the 50s. Week 7. You had 66%, 62%, 50. Since everybody likes to talk about fucking stats, let's talk about stats.
Real quick before you get into that, pull or after you finish with that, pull up what Wendy said.
Oh. Painful to watch boys do that with Fitz and Gruden won't. You know, Wendy, you hit on the mark. Flores was there to play to win the game.
Literally drew Gruden a map right in front of him on the field. How to use 2 quarterbacks in a game. How to bring in one guy when the other one is struggling, because he's been sitting there watching the other team's defense all game long, getting their tendencies and seeing how they respond to stuff and what they're doing. But that was too much. We can't have that. We're going to do this my way. We're going to do this with my guys. Yep. And that's it. That type of commitment to yourself and your ego is precisely the problem with this team. Too many people are catering to their own egos, and the fact of the matter is that Gruden is what Super Bowl that Tony Dungy should have won.
You gotta stop that moving, bro. I'm getting feedback from you.
Okay, let's try this again. So Gruden is living off of a Super Bowl that Tony Dungy should have won.
So in other words, you're saying that Gruden is that one guy from high school that said, class of 95. Yeah, you remember that time when, I came in and took care of business. We won state. And his hair's like starting to recede back, and he's drinking a whole damn shit ton of beer and saying, class of 95. Yeah. That's what you're basically saying.
The proof is in the pudding.
So you got a guy that's in the past and that can't move on.
Because you look at it and Josh Dubois put up the stat, said if you were to compare winning percentages over a 3-year period, Tom Cable, the offensive line coach, won more games than John Gruden has in his second stint with the Raiders. And not only did he win more games than John Gruden, he did it with Jamarcus.
Jaworris.
Gruden has Carr, and Cable won more games in 3 years with he who shall not be named.
Yeah. But like I said, it's not all on defense. It's on offense too, bro. Like I'm gonna be real. Part of it starts back from week 7 when you're playing like you're going back and forth and shit. But I'm not gonna count that Cleveland game because the way the fucking weather was. I'm just really not. I'll put an asterisk on. I don't give a fuck. But you go back week 7, you're completing about 66% of your passes. Then it goes down to you play the Chargers 56%, Denver 64%. That Kansas City game, that was your best game, and then it just
fell off a cliff.
You're not your 70% kind of quarterback like you were last year. And it's 64, 59, 68, 60, 61. Your passing ratings jumping all over the place. 80. Let's see. I was at we go from 70 to 97, 85, 96. And then it comes back up to 104 in a game where you're 21 or 34. 336, only one touchdown. You got sacked 3 times, man. You couldn't even run. But I say this, the fumbles, man. These fumbles are a trip. But they stopped. I say this, they did stop, but my God. So there's blame there. You look at your running back not being able to stay healthy, and it's like, granted, he's closing in on 1,000 yards. He'll have a 1,000-yard season this week. But the thing of it is, it's just you're running you're averaging 3.8 yards a carry. Right now, he's currently looking like the better draft pick out of the 2 first round, out of all 3 first round picks. Farrell, he's done for the year, as John said. Abram, Abram should move the fucking linebacker, and
he doesn't need to be a linebacker. Marinelli has a better plan for him, and playing him as a box safety is where he belongs. He'll be just fine as long as you do not try to put him at single high. And maybe you got to switch up the defense and tip off offenses by not ever putting him back there in a single high, which may or not be unheard of in this modern age, but when you put Jonathan Abram back deep by himself, you are playing games with your life.
First things first, you were playing with your life when you had that Sammy Davis Jr. looking motherfucker in the slot. Joyner should have never been in the slot this entire season. Once and always, we keep seeing Joyner in that slot, and he's getting his ass cooked. Ass getting just tore up. Tap dancing ass. And it's like a little every time I see LaMarcus Joyner rush on a blitz, it looks like an 8-year-old trying to play against his older brothers. He had no business being in the slot, Phil.
None.
You should have had him playing single high. You should have had him playing safety.
And hold on. Why was he in the slot?
Oh, I can answer that. Well, my buddy Paul Gunther, he said, I think I'm going to let you get to play where you want to be. And you can play slot corner. if you feel like you're a good slot corner, maybe we should just leave you there. He wasn't a good slot corner. Even under Wade Phillips, he wasn't a good slot corner.
Got him kicked out of the Rams. But that wasn't the answer that I was looking for. The answer that I was looking for was given to us by Paul Gunther, because according to him, the slot corner in his defense needed to be the best tackler on the team. Not the best cover guy, not a guy capable of covering slot receivers, but the best tackler on the team. It goes hand in hand with constantly asking your defensive ends not to maintain outside edges and contain and leverages on the outside so that you can limit these stretch runs and toss sweeps or all of that shit. But no, we want our guys to crash in and either scrape the face of the tackle or go right behind his ass as soon as the ball snaps. Never mind the fact that we continue to get our asses eaten up by double tights, blocking down, jet sweeps, and anything that would possibly be able to toss outside of our defensive end who's crashing, and the wide receiver who's coming down on the slot corner, leaving us one-on-one with a corner.
Look, I don't know what to say, bro. I'm still on the point that this man just threw his 12th overall pick under the bus. He threw basically everybody else under the bus but him and his offense.
That's my quarterback, man. That's my quarterback, man.
Your quarterback that had
man.
Your quarterback that damaged his little vajayjay and then needed Vagisil.
He went out there and he showed you that he had what it takes. He gave it his all. I put him out there as a message to the rest of the team that just because you got a little ache, a little owie, a little boo-boo, you need a Band-Aid, you can still get out there and play winning football. Except we didn't win because I made a dumb decision again. Some more.
And once again, to end that game, you went 0 for 10 on third down. You went 1 of 4 in the red zone. That's fucking pathetic. And I'll say it. That whole, I had
when you get
roll
done,
out.
When you get done, Raider J, please.
Oh shit! Oh yes. But I had to roll out and I had to give it my all on that throw, and just know my stats went up when I threw to Nelly, and Nelly got that big touchdown, and I said, dang, gosh. I don't know if I can do it a little anymore, but just know, oh fuck this shit, bro! I had to hit Jay. I got Raider Jack. I hit the shit now. Win is only here to help his career stats. Hey, the fact that they in a leader, that should have told you. That was determined to lie when that some bitch didn't even wear a damn mask. But I promise you,
Jason Witten has no business being out on that football field. And if he was signed because Foster Moreau was hurt, the second Foster Moreau was healthy enough to play football again, he should have been benched or relegated to goal line situations where all he had to do was get to the end zone, turn his big country ass around and catch the fucking ball. Oh shit! I watched him play that tight end screen. I watched him take 2 steps and take about a week and a half to get back to the line of scrimmage and fall forward for 3 yards. And when I watched it, I was like, who the fuck would throw that to Jason Witten? What are you doing? And then you watch the last 2 weeks of Foster Moreau running up and down the field, catching balls on the sideline, catching touchdowns, just like he did before he got hurt last year. And that's the guy that you want to put on the bench because you got a man crush on old man Witten who was doing play-by-play next to Booger McFarland? Back to you, Joe.
Hey, but look, who's the fucking blame? Hey, hold up. Who's the guy that threw to him? Who's the guy that threw to him? The one that wears your mom's eyeliner. Every time I sit and watch a Raiders game and look at this man wear eyeliner, I think I'm in a Marilyn Manson video. Somebody said it. Hey, damn, where my blindfold at? Hey, I'm going to put that shit back up tonight. I don't care. I really don't care.
Watch out. Somebody else will be in your DMs.
Oh, bring it. What's he going to do? I'm going to throw holy water at his ass. Oh, my gosh. You know what's funny? That look when he's like sitting there on the bench after the Kansas City game. He's like, we're 1-5 since that shit, bro.
His best should have been 0-6. Should have been 0-6.
Hey, look, shit you not, bro. It's like, I don't know if he's trying to get this whole gothic look, this whole emu look. That's why I call that motherfucker my chemical carmance.
Wow. Wow.
You know, I'm gonna. Oh man, I should have played it. Maybe I could play it, but I don't think I got it.
Well, Kev, please pull up Kev.
That's another thing. Players in your DMs instead of the playbook or in the fucking gym. Oh, not even that, but maybe in the fucking film room.
I'd be okay if they just showed up on the field. Forget all of that. If they would show up on the field and play and look like they were actually capable of getting some shit done, I'd feel much better. Now, granted, I don't believe that anybody should be commenting on anybody's pictures with their kids and talking the reckless type of shit that Raider Nation can talk to some of these guys.
And that's pretty messed up.
And that's foul, and there is absolutely no place for that. But what is the head coach doing? I'm like, is he gonna exercise any type of control over his team? Or he just going to let him run wild and then blame everybody else for letting him run wild because he didn't do shit about it? Because that's what it looks like.
Hold up. Boom. There is zero accountability on this team. Not 80%, not 50%, not even 30%, but 0%. Zero. Nada. Zilch.
This many.
And that's the problem. That's the problem. These guys are having bitch fits on Twitter, IG, Snapchat and shit. They're so worried. I'm not gonna say all of them because I don't. I'm gonna be real. I don't see Mo Hurst saying shit.
No.
I mean, I don't see Farrell on Twitter saying shit. All he asked was like, "What's a good movie to watch during the week? What's this?" I don't see him saying none of that. But you see all the other guys like Abrams, Arnett, Josh Jacobs. I'm gonna leave Josh Jacobs alone because He's still going to clip about 1,000 yards. He's still making the Pro Bowl. But everybody else, I saw Nevin Lawson get into it. I'm going to tell you this. You don't get into it with anybody from the DMV because they're going to fry your ass up. They're going to embarrass your ass. And what happened? I'm seeing it's really mostly the defensive guys. Everybody just running their mouth back and forth on there. But you got to go back. You got to go back and look at leadership. Everybody was talking like how, we got the idea that you brought Jason Witten to be one of your leaders on this team. Especially in the locker room. But you look at these guys running on social media, running their mouth. Keyshawn Nixon, Lawson. That shit don't fly on any of these teams. I'm going to be real. You had the shit with Antonio Brown with the Steelers, but I'm going to tell you this. Mike Tomlin, he had a foot up your ass too.
Mm-hmm.
You have Juju run his mouth a little bit, but it ain't bad like where it's like causing a whole 100% team distraction where it leads to destruction.
I don't know. Him dancing on the other team's logo seems to result.
And that motherfucker learned his lesson. He stopped. He said, I'm going to stop.
It took him 2 weeks to figure that one out.
It took you to get knocked the fuck out. You know what? When a motherfucker had learned that he got knocked the fuck out, he said, I'm going to stop. That meant, he had a decent game yesterday.
Said, well,
he got himself together. He stopped all that shit. You see what happened when you said, I got my ass knocked down. I got embarrassed. I need to stop this shit and get myself together. And you know what did he do? What did he do? He got himself together.
Rededicate myself to the game and quit all this bullshit on the side.
Like shit. I'm like, you know what he did yesterday, Phil?
What did he do yesterday, Phil?
He had 13 targets, 9 catches, 96 yards, and a touchdown. He got his shit together.
Had probably one of his best games all season.
Yes. That was a season high. He got himself, after he got his ass knocked the fuck out and embarrassed on Monday Night Football, that man got himself together. But you look at our guys are like twiddling the thumbs like, don't worry, Raider Nation, we'll be back. We're going to get it together.
One day.
Talk is cheap. And when you talking out of your ass and just spewing bullshit, this is why your team is sitting at 7-8, possibly going 7-9, and your ass is not making the playoff. Bruh, the NFL dumbed this shit down for your ass. The NFL dumbed this shit down for your ass to make the playoffs. You know who is about to make the playoffs before your ass? A team that had the number 1 overall pick this year. Everybody said the Colts weren't shit, and the Colts about to be in the playoffs. The fucking Browns are going to be in the playoffs.
Cleveland.
Cleveland. The Cleveland Steamers.
Cleveland Browns, the dog pound. A team that ain't won
this year. That's sad and pathetic by this organization, by this coaching staff, and by these players. These players don't know to accept accountability for their actions. It's always the blame game. Y'all wishy-washy. Man, fuck all that shit, man. Y'all, no. Shut it.
Mr. Rodriguez, please.
Excuse me. Any other team, including SEC teams, would have fired Gruden after Saturday's loss. The Raiders, they stuck with Gruden because the Raiders borrowed a lot of money to throw at Gruden. Ooh.
Now, I don't know if they did or did not borrow money to throw at Gruden. It had to be manufactured from somewhere. Kev and somebody else had asked about the out in his contract. There is supposed to be one there, but nobody has seen the contract itself to verify when exactly that is. Speculation has it in between either 2021 or 2022. Now, as for firing Groot, Mark Davis I mean, we've seen the way that Mark Davis looks at John Gruden. He wouldn't be capable of telling Gruden anything, especially you're fired after all I did to bring you in here for you to come out here and embarrass me like this. Go out here and tell everybody that you not putting the ball in the end zone when you had the chance and you're just mad about the outcome. Or the guys that you selected in the first round aren't panning out, so we got to get rid of what guys we drafted. We're trading away before they even see the field, before they even get a chance to see the field.
The field.
You're going out here. We started off talking about no excuses. Now you're starting press conferences talking about I'm not going to make any excuses, but we're hearing that Mayock is in the boat coaching DBs, and I asked around about it, and that was determined to be bullshit. So now we're just flat out lying and making excuses because you're out there getting your asses kicked again and again and again because you refuse to change anything and you just simply can't figure out how to get it done. And rather than finding somebody who can, we're going to stay loyal to the homies and trot out the same thing that isn't working and then just shake our head and wonder why and then blame the defense because you continue to put inept, inadequate, and unprofessional coaches out there who don't know how to communicate or teach the scheme that that's supposed to be so wonderful. Paul Gunther is a chalkboard genius. That's it. If you take that chalkboard away from him, he's a bumbling buffoon. And what makes it worse is the guy who hired him and keeps him employed is over there looking at him, shaking his head, talking about, Paul's just going to be Paul.
I never seen utter bullshit like that in my entire life. No, wait, I have seen utter bullshit like that in my life. But damn. Commitment to mediocrity, ladies and gentlemen. That is this team.
No, commitment to sucking.
No, excuse me. Let's finish that. Commitment to sucking ass. Because they're trash. Y'all think finishing third place last year, finishing second place probably this year.
No, they won't, because if they don't beat the Broncos, they will finish in third again.
Oh, wow.
They were supposed to win this division, challenge for this division. We're in position to take this division from the Chiefs and just let it all go.
So what you're trying to say is the Raiders are the new chokers?
No, the Raiders aren't the new anything because this is the same old Raiders that were in Oakland, the same old Raiders that were in Los Angeles after they won the last Super Bowl, the same old Raiders that moved back to Oakland. And I really, truly, honestly believed that this was going to be different, that they were going to be able to figure it out because they had Mayock, they had Gruden, they had football guys. who knew football, who knew what it took to win, who knew how to scheme guys up. Only when it came time to do it, when it came
Phil, that's why I'm gonna stop you right there. What has been there for 7 seasons and been through 2 coaching staffs?
Three coaching staffs?
Well, 3 coaching staffs. What has been there this whole time? What has been there that whole time? Has been through Allen, has been through Del Rio, and now Gruden.
Sperano.
Oh, yeah, you say Sperano. I ain't bury the fucking ball. I don't know. Like, let's be real here. Excuse me. What has been there that long and has not gotten a damn thing done?
But it's okay though, Phil. It's okay.
No, it's not okay. No.
Because he knows football.
It's not okay anymore, bruh. It's not. Because when you look at it, all he's ever been good at is 7-9. You had your 12-3 record.
That was a fluke.
6-9, 4-12, 7-9. You about to go 7-9 again.
Something about that 8th victory that unsettles him.
My whole thing is this, bruh. I didn't even add 3-13.
No.
I didn't even add 3-13, but you go and look at that shit. 7-9, 12-3, 6-9, 4-12, 7-9, 7-8. Do you actually think that is good enough to be a good fucking quarterback on this team? No. Everybody, I'm going to say this shit. I'm getting it off my chest, and that's that. You actually think that, we shouldn't go and draft another quarterback. We need to stick with him. We just need to put this guy around him and that guy around him. Let's go in and put let's draft wide receivers around him. Let's go in and add some more guys, some tight ends, some wide receivers. Let's go in and add another piece of the O-line. Let's go in and re-sign Incognito. Oh, we didn't have Incognito for the whole year, but let's go in and make sure we got some other guys that can protect him. You get all these guys. You have different multiple sets at wide receiver. And all you see is, I'm going to lob it up. I'm going to throw it to my tight end the entire time. Even if my tight end is being covered, I'm going to hit the check down and throw it to Jalen Richard until it bounces out of his hand and it turns into a pick six. Or I'm going to keep looking down somebody every damn time and it turns into a pick six. It's the same thing. When you see that they're down by maybe 14 or they're down by 21, he collapsed. I'm just going to keep throwing the check down. I didn't see anybody open. No, I don't give a rat's ass what anybody think. They think this shit is hate. They ain't fucking hate. I just see that this is just average.
You're quoting statistics and so are we.
What is his record? Bruh, you
46-63.
46-63.
Yes, sir.
Y'all think that's going to get you to the playoffs and the Super Bowl? You're smoking crack.
It ain't got you to 500 but once. It ain't got you to 500 but once. 7 years going on.
And some of that was Khalil Mack closing out the games. So really, I'm going to say this, Phil. Khalil Mack closed out a handful of those games. So you take away Khalil Mack, what do you get? Oh, wait, 7 wins. How fucking ironic. I'm bringing it up because if you look at it, King Kunta, that man was closing out games. I'm going to tell you guys this, and I know what the problem is. Everybody's scared to move on and have a new quarterback because they've seen over the years how shitty the quarterback situation has been. So you settle for Derek Carr. You're stuck in some sort of Stockholm syndrome because you don't want to feel abused again when you have a crappy quarterback.
Don't hit me no more.
First off, during the times of having these shitty-ass quarterback situations, you didn't have a GM. That's one thing. 2, you didn't have the draft capital to get a good quarterback. Now you're in a situation where next year you can get a quarterback. Next year you can because I'm going to tell you this. Maybe you even stick with Mariota. But I'm going to say this shit. I'm going to say this right now. You cannot go forward with this man as your quarterback. I said this shit before, and lo and behold, I was right. You could not go forward with this motherfucker. You look at the Washington football team, they got rid of Dwayne Haskins today. They drafted him last year. Think about that. They drafted him first round last year and got rid of that ass.
7th pick, wasn't it?
16th pick.
16. They had a 7th with somebody. But yeah.
So you look at that, you're like, damn, that happened. You look at the quarterback situation going forward with all these teams, Jets, the Jags, I even throw Denver in there. You look at Chicago, you look at I even say Carolina, I even say Washington football team, I even say Dallas. There's going to be a lot of quarterback shuffling going on at the end of the season. If I'm John Gruden, if you can get a sack, mind you, as everybody said, that Derek Carr is having a great season. Don't let the stats fool you because some of that is garbage time.
Junk time.
The other thing is this. I look at this man. Why did you even come into this game last week? You really didn't even need to play. But you wanted to put on a show for everybody to show that, yeah, I can still play tough with a groin injury. You had to apply Vagisil to that shit for the past week. You had to put on a show when you still wasn't even healthy. He really wasn't even healthy.
Nope.
He even said during the press, I wasn't healthy. But I wanted to make sure that I was going to start, that I finish out the season starting. What does that tell you, ladies and gentlemen? That tells you he was scared of Mariota. It ain't toughness. It's your job was on the line. And you know what? You still lost. And at the end of your presser, you act like you couldn't get up. You act like you couldn't get up from the damn seat. I'm just lost for words with this team.
Gave him all.
And I'm going to let folks know, look, if you think this is just you just can't stand him. I can't stand bullshit. That's the problem.
And it's not just us. You've heard all of your favorite bloggers, all of your favorite talking heads have all told you the same thing, that they don't need to see any more of Carr. We've seen 7 years of Carr. We've seen the best of Carr. We've seen the worst of Carr. We've seen the average Carr. But the one time you get some type of excitement, some type of flash in the pan, some type of somebody else can do something a little differently, and the team responded to it, and you want to throw that shit in a barrel, lock it in the basement, and set it on fire so it'll never be heard from again.
You know what's funny, Phil? What was the whole big thing about this year with our fan base? No excuses. No excuses. And I hear, and I'm not talking about some of you guys that are watching the show right now, because I know you guys about the same as us. We're hearing every fucking excuse out the book from this team, from fans. Oh, well, you know, they didn't have this. They were injured. No excuses.
That's what y'all said. That
everybody said no excuses.
That's
and
what
guess
you heard
what?
from Carr.
Hey, Phil, maybe I just go on and drop. Should I drop it?
Why not?
Should I drop the video?
Be a good way to close us out.
Nah, I'll post it. I'll post it. I don't care. I don't even care if everybody gets ass hurt, because the only ones that get ass hurt are the ones that are the one
who should be getting ass hurt. They're getting ass hurt because it's true. Because you look at it, because when you can't justify what's going on with your play, you got to find something else and start what's the word? I'm projecting.
I wonder.
The unfiltered truth is lethal, Jim.
You know, I just let's see if I can pull it up. If I can finesse this shit real quick. Let's see if I can finesse this. Then it's a celebration. You know what? I think I can send that. Yes, I can. So this is what I'll do. I'm going to send it. And you guys can watch it. Because Phil, I'm tired. You hear somebody say, I'm going to do it. It's like you hear the same shit out of this man's mouth. I'm going to be real, bro. When I said my shit and I knew that his mama blocked me, I was like, damn, I really done did something. Phil, I'm just going to drop it.
Do it.
Did it go through?
Nope. All that hype and you couldn't deliver. You must be a Raiders fan.
Oh, man. I don't know. That's weird. It says it's there. Oh, there it is. This man said, hyping and I couldn't deliver. How dare you? I always deliver.
Where's it at?
Always bet on black.
Videos or it didn't happen.
What happened, bro? I couldn't relate, bro. You know, I know how to finish out. All right, let's see if I can get this up. But why we're waiting if this is gonna take a long time. Let's see.
Waiting to take a long time. Boy, I tell you, I hope you ain't using that as the line.
Oh Oh, snap, man. Hey. So while this is uploading, I like to announce that the Unfiltered Truth, we have a new show coming on. I don't want to try to make this our brand just the Raiders, but everything that's going on around the world, what is pop culture, is young athletes playing different certain basketball, just anything, comedy, entertainment. You know, after the season that we had with the Raiders, man, we need something fresh.
I need some positivity in my life.
Exactly. So y'all stay tuned. Tomorrow I'll have the first episode up. It's just 30 minutes with Phil. We're going to be talking about Wonder Woman 1984. I'm going to tell you guys about one of our new sponsors. And we're blessed for this opportunity.
Yes.
To be able to cover the CYM basketball, their basketball league. Just it's a blessing to be able to cover creative young minds in the Louisville Leopards. They have their whole league. I'll break it down tomorrow, and I'll give you the recap from Sunday's game that they had. And you know, this is great, Phil. This is something that we needed for so long, and I'm going to drop the video.
What up, Bugs?
Y'all ready to see this video? Y'all ready? Heard it all before.
All of it.
Heard it all before.
All of it.
I don't care about the noise. It doesn't matter.
I'm tired of being disrespected.
All that.
No excuses. But I got a couple.
Yeah, Kev, the first show will be tomorrow. Thanks for adding to the depression. I'm sorry.
I'm about to kick everybody's feelings with steel-toe boots and grind them into dust.
Derek calling you right now. He got hurt.
You know what that means.
I promise you, I'm gonna whoop your ass. But other than that, hey, check it. New show coming out tomorrow. You guys stay tuned. I'll have it up. I'll have it posted for you guys to watch. It's going to be just a 30-minute show. But, hey, we need something new. And I can't keep talking about – I love the Raiders. It's that abusive relationship. But I just can't. You know, we need some positivity for the Unfiltered Truth brand. We just really need it. And I'm going to tell you this. Watching this basketball league for CYM, these kids played with heart. These kids kept fighting to the very end. They ain't quit. They kept launching up shots, and they played with heart. I haven't seen that in a long time. And yeah, I'm going to talk my Lakers. I'm going to talk a little bit of NBA. But this brand needs something new. And y'all stay tuned tomorrow. I'll have it up for 30 minutes. We'll be running I'll be running the first episode. It'll be at 6 o'clock Eastern, 3 o'clock Pacific time. Still the Unfiltered Truth. You guys want to hear the truth? You want to hear the raw and uncut? You want to hear about these guys around our great nation. Well, let's talk about these cats around this great nation. Let's talk about what's going on around the world with positive news. I'm not talking about such and such and died there to the left and to the right. I can't do that anymore, man. I gotta find some good news. Y'all want some good news? Y'all want some positive vibes? The Unfiltered Truth is going to give you some positive vibes tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific time. All right? And I'll make a post for it. Other than that, y'all take care. God bless. You guys can recap the show on our YouTube page, The Unfiltered Truth. Go on and give that a subscribe. Recap all the shows and all the rants that me and Phil drop and all the fire we drop. You guys can look for us on Spotify. Just type in The Unfiltered Truth and you can go back and listen to this show from this week and last week. Follow me on Twitter, Phil Jones NFL. Follow Phil Robinson at Phil Robinson III. I'm Phil Jones. This is Phil Robinson. Ladies and gentlemen, this is The Unfiltered Truth. Y'all have a good evening. If I don't catch you tomorrow, have a happy new year.
God bless.